What's up guys, Jean with ADV Moto. We are here in Malaga, Spain, and I can't think of a better place to showcase the strengths of the new Tiger 900 line from Triumph. Today we just got finished with our first day. We rode street today, and we got to ride the Tiger 900 Rally Pro and GT Pro motorcycles. First thing I want to talk about on these bikes is the motor. Engine got revised for 2024, and they bumped the power up from 95 horsepower to 108. That is quite a jump. And you're gonna find most of that extra power stashed in the top end, but Triumph was very careful to let us know that that did not take anything away from the bottom end. And I was able to test that out today on the roads on some of these switchback turns, just really kind of lugging it out of turns. Absolutely has plenty of grunt, plenty of power. The triple cylinder T-plane crank engine of the Tiger 900 line is really something to experience. The way that it builds power and builds such good tractable pull. It's not arm yanking at all, but it packs a punch. You have your different engine modes, so spend some time today in road mode and then spend the later part of the day in sport mode for a little bit more fun. I'm of limited experience on the road, so was a little bit intimidated to try out sport mode, but absolutely loved it and found that there was nothing to be intimidated by. Everything about this bike is so comforting and welcoming, right down to all the bells and whistles, all the features on board and accessories such as the standard heated grips and heated seat, both of which were very much appreciated today because it was in the low 50s and pretty breezy from this morning. So it was a lot colder than we were anticipating here in Spain. But man, still just absolute gorgeous, so much fun day, comfortable in the saddle all day long. One of the things that I was feeling, however, is a little bit longer wheelbase feel than some of the other large adventure bikes in this category. And what that translates to is some very nice stability, straight line stability on the road. However, when you're coming into a turn, it can sort of tend to want to stand up, which took me off guard a little bit. So you just kind of have to be ready for that. And between these two bikes, I'm really glad we got to sample the GT Pro because that has the 19-inch front wheel versus this one, the Rally Pro, which has the 21-inch spoked front wheel. The 19-inch front wheel on the pavement definitely makes a bit of a difference. It's just easier to tip into the turns, carves its way through the twisties a little bit better. If you want to get sportier on the road sections, that might be the way to go. Today was absolutely incredible day. This was the day I was waiting for. We got to dedicate an entire day to the Tiger 900 Rally Pro. We've been in the saddle all day long, and I think it was about 95% dirt all around the Malaga area. And what a fantastic time, what a perfect place to get to know a bike like this. So this was a major global launch for Triumph because the Tiger 900 line is heavily revised. They've touched just about everything on the bike, and rather than do a deep dive into all of the technical specs here, just want to talk about a couple of surface level things. So in the electronics suite, there is so much to unpack there. So for more on that, go to the story at advmoto.com. And for now, I wanted to talk about what jumped out to me today especially was trying out the two off-road modes. You have off-road mode and you have off-road pro. The off-road mode, it has very minimal intrusion of the traction control and the ABS. It is still there. Off-road pro is going to shut all of it off because that's what the more hardcore off-road guys want, right? Just shut it all off. I want to be in control of everything. I don't need your help. But the off-road mode itself, I was curious to see how well that was going to work, how intuitive it was. Really found myself leaving it in the off-road mode for most of the day, just because it was so minimally intrusive and at the same time allowed me to relax and not have to worry about this explosive power slipping out from under me. It was just enough intrusion that it kept things moving in a straight line. It did, however, drifting through the turns and stuff, especially on the flat hard pack roads, it'll let you get pretty stepped out. It's not going to cut in at that point. However, when we did get into some switchbacks and coming through it and getting really kind of choppy sand coming out, getting on the throttle there, trying to just power out of it, that's where I could feel it cutting in, letting it catch a little bit of traction. So I could feel it was there. However, turning it off, even just rolling it on, it's really gonna let loose those 108 ponies that it now has. And I just felt that it was easier, more relaxing, and more fun to leave it in the off-road mode. The suspension package. This is something that's really a shining point to me on this bike. I deliberately tried to bottom it and couldn't do it all day. And I think if I had tried any harder, I might have just injured my wrists. But really great hold up on the fork. It has that nice plushness at the very top of the stroke, which keeps things very comfortable. But the rest of it, when things get real chattery and busy off-road, it's not super plush to that point where it can feel almost mushy like some of the other big ADV bikes can feel like. This one had a much more connected feel to the ground, which I really appreciated. So I really loved the suspension package on this. The overall geometry of the chassis was really outstanding. The stability overall, some of this rough stuff that we were coming down hills, I felt like I could take my hands off the bar completely. Not recommended. However, it's just so confidence inspiring. I mean, this is also kind of where the bigger bikes and the weight comes in handy, because you can just go monster trucking over these little rocks and ruts. It's gonna track just straight over just about anything you point it at. And that's, again, just goes back to the geometry of the chassis and that overall stability. This bike does not have a steering stabilizer stock. I think that's because this clearly doesn't need one. There was points off-road where I was trying to see where we could get out of shape a little bit. The front end, what was it going to do? Is it going to start twitching or pushing? Or it was solid, planted for just about everything we threw at it today, and I was very pleasantly surprised by that. Anytime it did start to step out or get offline, it would come right back, and I think it's just because of the overall front to rear balance. It does have a little bit of a longer wheelbase feel, but that's going to translate to, again, just greater stability in the ride. If there was something that I could change on this and spend a little bit more time with it, I might actually roll the handlebars back a little bit. It feels to me like there is a little bit of a reach to the front, and again, that's just kind of that longer feel to it. Standing up has really great ergonomics. It didn't feel like such a reach to the bars until you're sitting down. Standover position is fantastic. You really feel like you can just relax your knees right into this, and again, that stability, you could keep everything really light on your hands. All-day comfort was pretty outstanding as well. Well, we're definitely looking forward to spending more time on the Triumph 900 line. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.